Hi everybody and welcome to another episode of What the Farq with me, Lord Farquaad. It's great to have you back and let's jump straight in. So on my last video I put out that 147 and 146 were going to be merged. It's really exciting because it's something that we've all been waiting for a very long time. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at some of the power boards, some of the alliance power boards, have a quick discussion on the current row on 146, the current mining pack on 147, and to see how they differ, to see if Scopely have made the right decision in pairing the right servers together so that it can be competitive but also allow us to play. Okay, so let's jump into our power boards and we're going to see what we've got. So what we can see here is we've got on the left we've got 146 and on the right we've got 147. Their top guys are 49 at 52 million power. Our top guy, or 147's top guy, is at level 50 at 66 million power. Notice a few little differences. Power destroyed is nearly double, actually over double, of their strongest player. The number of ships that the Ops 50 has blown up compared to the Ops 49 is significantly more. So it just shows you that yes, you may be a high Ops, but different play styles are apparent here. You've got one who's a bit less aggressive, potentially is maybe not doing as much defending, afraid of spending money on repairing of ships and those types of things. And then on the right you've got the more aggressiver, who is more interested in blowing people up, defending bases, raiding bases, and just being a right old pain in the backside. And having been on the other side of DW's one-shotting of my base when I was at war with his alliance at that time, he's strong. I'll leave it at that. So don't worry, 146, he's a lovely individual, just don't upset him. So let's jump into the power board and see what it looks like. So as you can see, it's pretty level pegging really. The top 10 in both alliances are, apart from the anomaly which is DW, they're pretty equal power across. There is a big gap between, say, the top 2 and the rest, but as you can see from on 147, there's a lot around the 52, 49, 46, 45, 43, 41, 40 million, 39 million. So you can see that up the top end of the server there is a very level playing field, where it's a little bit more stretched out with the spenders or the grinders, for instance, on one's. You can see the difference in the two servers. In the 146, there's definitely a difference and a pay gap between the two lot. So let's move on to the next bit, which is our alliance leaderboards. So as you can see from the alliance leaderboards, big differences. You've got on 146, you've got the two big powerhouses, Valhalla and SpaceX. From there you can see that Valhalla is there on power due to the number of people that they've got in their alliance. SpaceX are up there because they've got more whales, dolphins, etc. And then it dropped down into the 800s and down. And if you look down on the 147 side, you can see that you kind of got deal at the top of just over a billion, and then it kind of comes down to TBE, and then it's kind of got, say, Chaos and Wolf and EMP are all roughly around the same strength, and then it kind of drops off from there. But there's actually a very interesting dynamic with regards to these, because each of the alliances are different, and you can see that what we've got at the top, we've got the German alliance, who are partnered with GOG, which is the other German alliance. Then you've got kind of the other stable, which is EMP and Legacy and Rust and Nest and Pups, which is over half the server are in one big coalition. And then you've kind of got the anomalies, which is WLF and WLFR, who are a big kind of powerhouse with a lot of aggression and very good at events. And then you kind of got, say, TBE, don't know what direction they're going in. They may go one way, they might go the other. They've got some great players there, very strategic, but sometimes certain things back office let them down. And then you got Chaos, which is the only alliance within on the server who doesn't follow the current mining pack. We play by the don't be a dick mining pack or row. And then kind of on the other side as well, you've got, say, Valhalla is the kind of the grinders and the powerhouses. SpaceX are the spenders, and then you kind of say you've got your German alliances, you've got your Russian alliances, you've got your stable alliance, which is your UFSM, USBH and UFGB. So if you look at the different sides of it, the actual alliance setups are very similar in comparison, and you would think that this server is literally a carbon copy. Yes, there's more players, yes, there's a bit more power, yes, there's more active alliances, but it's pretty much just a carbon copy plus 10%, which is very interesting. And now the bit you've all been waiting for, row discussion. Yeah. Let's look at the two differences between 146, 147, the different complexities. Are they going to work? Are they not going to work? It's going to be interesting. Let's have a look. So let's have a look at 146 and 147. So 147 is on the right. It's very simple. Do not hit mining survey vessels unless on 0 nodes or OP3. If someone's on a 0, send a message, 1 minute, boom. That is pretty much the only rule we have. But what this has turned into is people cry, people go mad if you hit in data, hit in Borg, hit in Swarm, hit in Eclipse, hit in Warp 40, hit in Deep Space, hit anywhere, in TC. It's just ridiculous. But so what they've done is they've kind of written their own unofficial rules into our mining pack or row, which is then created just, and this is the reasons why Chaos left, because people just cry and everything from there. So 146 is a little bit more, very similar, but it'll just give, say, you're giving 5 minutes warning instead of the 1 minute warning. OPC is fine. Combat, but it's an interesting one. Combat ships are only allowed on mines if you are changing your miner over and holding it. So how do you know? Normally just doing it. And stealing the mine during a refresh is not allowed. Fair enough. It is snaking. It is a dick move, but do you really get that nowadays on a dead server? No. Yeah, do you know what? There's enough to go around nowadays. And why can't anyone put a Devore on a 3-star mine? Hey, if you want to mine it, go for it. If that's what you got. I think the other interesting things is they've really specified about the spaces you're not allowed to hit in, and also that the row is ever changing and evolving based around the way that the events come up and if you're allowed to hit in data or anything from there. So it's going to be really, really interesting to see how these two merge together to create this one row that the majority of the server will follow, but we'll all be seeing from there. So let's hold our hats and see what happens. So with us knowing exactly that this was going to happen, the negotiations started internally, externally, between servers about what the next steps are going to be, and it's all around what the territories are going to be and who's going to work with each other, and is the enemy of your enemy my friend. So it's going to be very interesting to see what comes about over the next week or two. while we see these alliances change? Is the big stables going to break up and kind of start having those coalitions or those non-aggression pacts with others? Are they kind of, is there number of alliances on 146 who are like chaos, who don't follow the row, who might want to join together because they've got the same way of thinking? Are they going to be the miners who are just going to mine together, or are they going to mine against each other? It's going to be a really interesting thing to see two similar powered servers butting up against each other. So what I'd like to do is just have a quick little chat about kind of some of these discussions that have taken place, and it's been very interesting. A joint Discord was set up, and there was a bit of beef and blah 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 blah, and the fun police came in and basically put me in my place, which is fine. But what happened was there was people acting on behalf of their alliance without their alliance knowing, talking to other alliances, talking to other servers, and it all got very messy on both sides. So it'd be interesting to see what happens to those players who went above and beyond, maybe behind their backs, making deals that they shouldn't have, going forward, and to see if they end up leaving or moving, or if they're now alienated. And it's gonna be very exciting. So the plan of action really is during this transition stage, the merger stage, we're going to be bringing you a last look at the server on Tuesday morning or Monday night, and then when we go live, when the servers have been merged and it's just a hodgepodge of testosterone and stick swinging, and we will see what happens. And then we'll follow this over the next couple of weeks to see how this new server evolves. As always, thanks very much for joining me for this episode of What the Farq. Stay safe, and I look forward to seeing you again.